What's up, everyone? We have more honorable mentions of records that came out in 2023 that I have in my possession, and we're going to check them out right after this.
Welcome, headbangers, to the Metal Block. Here is your host, Eric.
We're in some lives tonight. That's my song Warmonger in the intro there. I'm back. It's only been a day. If you saw my last episode, it was my top 20 releases of rock metal that came out in 2023. Plus, I did some singles and all that stuff like that. And I did some honorable mentions, but I didn't get a chance to include everything that I have that I bought in 2023. So I have albums that I bought and listened to. Some I didn't get a chance to listen to all the way, but and the ones I did listen to, they just didn't make the top 20 list. I mean, they were good, but just there were some that was in the top 20 list before. Like when I did my top 10 list back in July, or I think it was June or July in 2023, there was a few that actually made the top 10. But then, I have that episode on this channel too. If you check it out, hit like and describe, as they say in YouTube land. But then, as new music was coming out, an album that would be at number 9 would drop to 11, and then at 12, and so we just keep going down and down and down. Yeah, and there was a big record that I forgot to mention last night, and it's not because I forgot; it's just I was running out of time, and it's Dolly Parton. We get into that. That's one record that I did not get a chance to listen to all the way, and that's why I didn't really want to say nothing about it last night, other than the singles that came out. I heard, and I just didn't get a chance because there's like 30 something songs. I mean, look, here we go. This is Dolly Parton, rock star. If the story is that she was nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but when she was first nominated, she was like kind of confused, thinking like, "Well, I don't really belong there. You should put some bands in to, oh my God, what a concept! Put some bands that are actually rock and roll that deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame." So she was like, put some of those bands in, but they wouldn't let her leave. They wouldn't let her decline her nomination, so they inducted her anyway. And she said in response to that, she said, "Okay, well then I guess I'm gonna have to write and produce and record and release a rock record to sort of justify her nomination." And so that's what she did. But she went all out, man. It was what I think it was like maybe a year before last or whatever. That's when it all went down, and then it took her only about a year to even get this whole thing done. But she did like 30 songs. She's got a bunch of guest appearances. And Wilson from Heart, Rob Halford. The most metal that it gets is probably Rob Halford with Nikki Sixx and John 5 on a song that I'm going to play a clip real quick. But I just haven't had a chance to really sit. There's like 4 discs in this thing. There's 4 or 5. Yeah, there's 4 discs. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoop. Nope, sorry. She looks good though, man. She's like 80 years old. She still looks phenomenal. Even if she had work done, she's one of the rare celebrities that get work done that actually had a good surgeon to where it doesn't look so like stretched out and fake or whatever. It actually looks natural. So good job, whoever her doctor is. But I just didn't get a chance to listen to it all the way through, and I'm gonna try to tackle it and maybe do a full album review on it eventually. But that's why I didn't really put it in my top 20 because it probably would have made it. But there's in some of the songs I've heard, like I didn't care for the Freddie Mercury, We Will Rock You cover. I thought that was pretty lame, and it's her version of rock. It's not like no one's expecting it to be metal or hard or heavy or anything like that. But with today's country music, today's country music already sounds kind of like pop rock in a sense. So it's really no different than that. Really, it's almost like she just kind of did stuff that Carrie Underwood would be doing or something. So here's a little clip of Bygones. And by the way, the rule is not really a rule, but if I say I'm going to play a clip or hey, check this out, and then all of a sudden you see there's nothing there, or it cuts right back to me talking about it, that's probably because YouTube made me cut it out. I had to do that with my last video from last night, the top 20. I had to cut a couple songs out, and in order for them to, where it doesn't get blocked or whatever. So yeah. Anyway, someone's got to get paid out there, I guess. But here's a little bit of Dolly Parton with Rob Halford. And I think this was written with Nikki Sixx and John Five.
Can you forgive me? It's true I've made mistakes, but so have you. It's just so unfair.
The way you hurt me cut so deep I don't think I can heal. You just leave me bare. When you break a trust it's painful to find the one you love's no angel. When respect is gone the biggest part of love goes to. I'm sorry, so sorry. How long must you
Punish me.
Yeah, metal. Dolly Parton's metal now. She's fucking brutal.
Next, you'll see her on the Metalopolis, the movie. She'll be like getting her head cut off by Nathan Explosion or something, or Murderface.
Yeah, Murderface. I like Murderface.
I could do Murderface, and I can do
Nathan Explosion. Yeah, this coffee's brutal. Brutal coffee.
Can't do the other guys. So yeah, and I'm not ranking these. I'm just showing you what I left out last night on last night's show. This is a bonus episode of episode 5 of the Metal Block. Welcome. My cat, I'm waiting for her to come in. It's like, yeah, yeah. My cat Tamarin, she's got her own Instagram, so check out Tamarin_cat on Instagram. Tamarin, TAMARIND. Why am I promoting my cat? Damn it. Okay. So the next record that came out last year, and this was actually the first record I got for 2024 or 2023. I messed up last night even as I said that. 2023 was the first. This was the first record I got. Steve Vai and Gash. So it's the Steve Vai Presents. It's called Vai Gash. Kind of a weird cover. Look at it. I mean, the guy should have been wearing a shirt. I mean, I feel bad saying that because I guess the guy passed away or something like that. I guess he's like a really good friend of Steve Vai's. I guess they used to ride bikes together and all this stuff. And I guess he was and I guess they worked on this record a long time ago and it just never got released. And so I think Steve Vai, just in his honor, because I guess he passed away in his honor, I guess he went in and sort of, fixed it up and mixed it and everything and decided to release it. But and it's okay. It just didn't make my list. It's good. It's a good rock. If you like Journey, Sammy Hagar, like just that total like AOR rock or whatever, which I like a lot of it. Good songs. Then you'll like it. Let me play a little clip. This is good old, good feel good rock and roll. Here, come here, Tamara. She's under my feet. Yeah, just that good old, something you'd hear like in late '80s, I'd say. It is kind of dated sounding, but it's fresh sounding at the same time. So there's nothing too bad with it. I might go ahead and explore it again, just listen to it more. It's definitely one of those records you just want to put on just for something melodic and good sounding, something like that. Anyway, let's moving on. We got some more records. This album is by this was recommended to me by a friend on Facebook, Tyler, young kid. He's into metal and all kinds of stuff, and he I guess he was really liking this band called Paramore. He told me to check them out. I checked them out. And I liked a couple of the songs that I saw on YouTube, so I did order their record. And didn't make my list only because it's this is a metal show. I'm trying to keep it as metal as I can. These guys are really more like alternative rock, which I like a lot of alternative rock bands. London Suede is my favorite. Radiohead, bands like that. But Paramore, this is called "This Is Why." And it's a good record. It's it's quirky. It's got some cool, some funky parts. good musicianship, some good melodic stuff in there as well. There's one song I can't remember the title that I heard. I just and again, this is another record I just haven't listened to a lot of to really say how great it is or how not great it is. But here's a little something.
The extra mile. Said I was gonna take some flowers to my neighbor, but I ran out of time. Didn't wanna show up to the party empty-handed, but I ran out of time. Said I walked the dog a little further than the driveway tonight. The extra mile. Thought I sent the card with my condolences, but damn, I just ran out of time.
I might have to give that a little bit more of a listen to that record because I really like that bass line, the way that came in and the time change and stuff, and just the way her vocals were layered on top of that, and sounded good. I like it. Maybe if I ever do like a top alternative rock of 2023 or whatever decade, then maybe that might make it. So yeah, but yeah, nothing wrong with it. Just didn't make my list of the top 20, but it's definitely being mentioned. These albums deserve to be mentioned because you know what I'm saying? It's like, you got to get out there and hopefully maybe you'll see something that I have that you'll be like, wow, I should check that out too. Or maybe you already have it. Maybe you agree with me that it's good. Maybe you disagree with me whether it's good or not. That's the beauty of music. That's the beauty of politics and democracy and all the stuff that we're fighting for. I don't want to get political here, but anyway, it's just that's the beauty of what makes this world a better place is that we can all have different opinions. As long as we don't shove them down each other's throats like I'm doing right now. I'm just trying to shove this down your throat. Hit like and subscribe, or I'm going to come and hunt you down. How some of those guys on YouTube sound like they're like, if you don't hit like, smash that button, or I'm going to come and smash you. Okay, so this next record I got, play a little clip too of them probably. Like again, if I play a clip and you don't see it, that's probably because YouTube made me cut it out. But Obituary. Now this should have made my top 20, but it was in there a little bit. I think it was in the top. I think it was like number 12 or 11 early on. But it's just all these other bands started coming out with more records, and this is actually probably one of the first Obituary records I've ever owned. I think I had one of the first ones back in the day. I don't remember. I know because me and my friend Paul and Tony and Jude, and all of us, we used to trade our records back and forth, and I'm pretty sure I might have had Paul's record at one point, and then maybe traded it back. And they're pioneers of the death metal and thrash and death metal, mostly death metal, I would say. Really always had cool album covers. Just they're legendary, obviously. Obituary, who doesn't love Obituary? Buying this album and listening to it is such a good record, and it really did make me want to go back and listen to them more. So I've been streaming some of their old catalog lately, and yeah, I like the cover. What's it called? Dying of Everything. It's so positive. This is a very positive message. Dying of everything. Not dying of some things, or dying of here, little there. It's dying of everything.
You're not metal until you can eat an Obituary record.
Got to get quirky, every now and then. Okay, so let me play a little clip of those guys. If it don't get blocked. Yeah, some cool shit, man. I'm gonna have to listen to that record even more. Yeah, it just, like I said, it was up there in my list, but then it just kind of got knocked down by all the other stuff I had. And some of these I'm kind of regretting. Some of them I'm thinking, damn, maybe I should have put that in my list. Now that I'm hearing it again, I'm thinking, I'm starting to get a little bit of feedback. Let me see. Hello, testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Next on the list is this band called Next Room. I didn't pull up any video or clip for them, but I bought it based on the album cover art, and they're good. Didn't make my list just because I've only heard the record maybe a couple of times, but it just kind of, I can put it on. First couple of songs are great, and it just kind of turns into background music or whatever. If I'm going to really get into this, I need to really sit down and sort of read along with the lyrics and sort of get really into them. And because it's probably a really good record if I just sat down and really listened to it, because but look at the artwork, man. They're called Nexarum. I guess they're kind of considered black metal. I guess they're black metal genre. Can't really read their song titles, but the album is called Conquest of Thorns. No, Tongue of Thorns. Conquest. Tongue of Thorns. Oh, I get it now. Tongue of Thorns. Yeah. He's got a tongue and he's got a lot of thorns in it. So yeah, Nexarum. Go out and check that out. So this is, like I said, it's a chance for you guys to discover some new music, or maybe agree or disagree with me on some of the stuff. Oh, so I got this record on Record Store Day. This is, I didn't really, and the only reason why I would include this into my top 20 is because it's, it's a live record and it's got, songs that we already know about and this and that. But it's a very special record for me. I went through hell to try to get this. It was almost sold out. I had my friend Nancy, she was downtown, and I was able to text her while I was on the bus, because, when you get the record on Record Store Day, you have to get there before everyone buys up the whatever limited supply that they have. And luckily they had one left, so I had her go in there and buy it for me, and then I shot her the money, and then I met her downtown, and she was able to give it to me. So she was a trooper on that one. And it was raining and shit. But yeah, so it's Dio live in Fresno, 1983. The reason why this is special for me is because I'm from Atwater, Merced, California. Fresno is like the big city over. The city that we used to go to concerts. Like, my first concert was Ozzy Osbourne in 84. I've told the story a million times. But had I started going to concerts in 83, which I kind of kicked myself for not really getting into going to live shows, or maybe having the money, or maybe I was old enough. I was 15, 14 or whatever in 83. So yeah, I could have saw this concert. I could have saw this live. So having it and listening to it is just such a badass. And it kind of, I put myself there at Selland Arena, and pretending I'm at the Dio concert. So I had to have this, and such a nice fold out and everything. Cool the story about it and everything. But yeah, fucking, who doesn't love Dio, man? Dio is like the greatest of all time. He's the GOAT, man. He's the GOAT. Greatest of all time. Okay, I didn't have a clip on that because I know if I play a Dio clip, I'd definitely get blocked. This is we're called the metal block because our videos get blocked. Right? Next up, I discovered this band sort of my friend Nico from Darkness My Desire, when we did our top 10 black metal of 2023, he had this on his list, and it made me go out and buy it. So, and that was just a few months ago, so kind of late in the game. So that's why I didn't make my top 20 as far as regular records. But it definitely, if I was to do my black metal list over again, this would definitely be in there, because it was definitely in his. And Wolves in the Throne Room is what they're called. This is their latest release, called Crypt of an Ancestral Knowledge or something like that. Pretty cool album cover. I wish it was a gatefold. They have a cool image too. Like, just check out their video. I didn't pull up a video clip, but you can either watch it on my episode of Black Metal, or you can look up Wolves in the Throne Room 2023. So getting that feedback. Boo! Why is it quiet? Why is it all quiet now? You know why? Because I'm pulling up Voivod, one of my favorite bands of all time. Especially since the 80s and all that shit. These guys can never do wrong, man. In my book, they might have had one record that was kind of but even that was like really good, better than a lot of bands' records. Reason why this didn't really make my top 20 is because it's mostly all just redone songs from their past albums, but they have one new song called Morgoth Tales, which is like the name of the record. And I do got a clip, man. So let's check out. This is a really cool video. I think it's done with AI and stuff. And, Way, the drummer, he's like the artist that does all their artwork and stuff like that. And so it's a video's based on all that. So somehow he got AI to work it in there. So here we go.
Journey journey into the unknown, where dimensions collide and secrets unveil. Across mystical realms, a group ventures forth, their quest unraveling the cosmic enigma. A boundless odyssey through cosmic dimensions awaits. Prepare to transcend reality itself. Enter the extraordinary world of Morgoth Tales.
That's pretty badass, huh? La, na, 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 na. Yeah. Voivod, they're from Canada, Quebec, Canada. One of the very greats, legendary, of course. You never really put them in any, I mean, even though they get sort of lumped up with thrash metal and speed metal and things like that, but I think they're in just a whole nother world of their own, man. Them, like, kind of like Primus. Primus is kind of like musically in a whole world of their own. Like, where do you put Voivod? Where do you put Primus? You know, I guess they can be, I've seen Voivod play some of those jazz festivals, and that's the closest I could think is that they're more like just jazz, but metal jazz, I guess. Next up, I got Immortal. This made my top 10 black metal, but also, it kind of almost made my top 20 regular metal records, but there was an album that beat it out. I can't remember which one it was. Maybe Mork. I think Mork is what beat it out, because this and Mork were my two favorites of 2023, and I love these two records. Mork's record and this one, just pretty much the same. But Immortal. If anyone's familiar with Beth, he was the lead singer of. There was a 3-piece, and he was the lead singer of Immortal. And he split the band, and it was down to the two guys. And their last album they put out, it was just two guys doing it. And then I guess this album they're just down to one dude. It's like, I like that freaking artwork. And then, yeah, went down to one dude, Damon's, I believe his name, or Demons or something like that. And yeah, it's a good album though, man. It's just that good traditional sounding black metal, but kind of melodic. That's not really fast or nothing. It's not, like some black metals are like really fast and noisy, but this is like more kind of just structured and really good rhythmically, get you moving. You could dance to it. Imagine dancing to Immortal like this. Woo! Next up on the list. Ooh, Cannibal Corpse. I got this late in the game. I didn't even know they had a new album out. I bought this like about a month before I put my top 20 list together, and I heard it a couple of times. As good as they are, it's just one of those records where every song just almost sounds the same. Like, no, now I sound like an old guy making fun of death metal. No, but obviously, what's his name? Frickin' the singer. Respect the Neck, Corpse Grinder. I love Corpse Grinder's solo album. His solo album made my top 20 list of I want to say 2022. But yeah, so Cannibal Corpse, Chaos Horrific, cool album cover. Not as violent or crazy as like I usually like their album covers, by Vincent Locke. He does a lot of their album covers, a comic book artist. Yeah, but it's a good record. I mean, let's play a little clip. And after I played this clip, I was thinking, damn, it actually is a lot better than what I was listening to when I first got it. Yeah, Gabriel Corpse Grinder Fisher, I believe. He's cool though, because like if you follow his Instagram, and I've told this before, but you go on Instagram, he always post pictures of him doing those, those when you go to like the movie theater or whatever, and there's those games that you have to put the claw. Is it called the claw or something, where you claw like a stuffed animal and you pull it out, and toys or whatever? So he'll do those, I guess, all day and get like a whole freaking armful of stuffed animals, and I guess he goes and donates them to children's charities and things like that. So really cool guy. You could do the super family guy that's posing with his family. They all kind of look alike, like his kids look just like him, like younger versions of him. It's kind of cool. His wife even kind of looks like him a little bit. Woo! The Corpse Grinder family. Coming up next, this album, man, kind of didn't make my top 20 of this because there's just, like I said, it's kind of almost like a greatest hits record, but it's still, it did make my top 10, I believe, back in July. So maybe I did put it on. But Paul Gilbert, it's his tribute to Ronnie James Dio. But the beautiful thing about it is that he does it all instrumental, and he's able to somewhat mimic Dio's voice with his guitar. Not like totally to the T, but it's just like he captures Dio's melodies and his inflections, and just there's sometimes where you hear it and you're almost thinking that you're hearing Dio sing it. But yeah, it's amazing. So check this out. It's almost like, is that Dio like going into his guitar notes? The ghost of Dio into his guitar amp. Yeah, it just gave me a whole new respect for Paul Gilbert. I've always liked him as a guitar player. Just was never like super. I was always Yngwie, Steve Vai, Joe Satriani. Paul Gilbert, I liked him when he was with Racer X, but then Mr. Big, I wasn't really big on Mr. Big's music. But that gave me a whole nother respect. I mean, this guy plays all different instruments, and he plays I think he plays all the instruments on the album except for maybe drums, but I don't know. But I saw him one video where he's playing like a upright cello bass, the big upright bass, but he's like kind of playing it like a regular bass, and he's doing this fucking fast arpeggio, like as if he's shredding on the guitar with it. And I was like, damn, okay, that guy. Whole new respect for Paul Gilbert. He looks a lot different than he used to back in the day. He looks kind of like a skinny dude now with like a little kind of beatnik looking guy or whatever, whereas before he had the hair and stuff. And yeah, super brilliant, genius guitar player. He taught at MIT there in Hollywood and stuff. And, my old guitar player used to go there at MIT, and he attended a few of his seminars or classes. Anyway, next up is Uada. These guys are from Portland, Oregon. They're a black metal band, very mysterious. They, they don't like to show their faces or their image or anything, or their faces. They have an image where it's like they kind of keep everything kind of hidden, like they wear like hoods and shit. It's a fucking phenomenal black metal band. It didn't make my top 20 of regular records, but it definitely made my top 10 in the black metal. But I still wanted to mention and throw it out there because we waited a long time for this record, man. And these guys always deliver. They never disappoint. I don't have a clip pulled up, so just go check out Uada. Uada. You ought to check them out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Uada. UADA. And yeah, the album is called, I'm really bad with album titles, but just look up Uada 2023. You don't see the album title here, but it's a long word or whatever. It's too big of a word for me to pronounce. I should have stayed in school. I did stay in school. I just got out right on time, man. As you can tell, when I went to school, I mostly just like, I wouldn't say I did the bare minimum, but I just did what I needed to do to move on to the next guy. I didn't want to be held back. I didn't want to stay another year, but I did okay. But my whole thing was art and music. So I did really well in art class, did really well in music school or music class. But I think I learned more just by hanging out with musicians and reading Guitar Magazine than I did in the music class, because all they taught us there was like green sleeves and things like that on guitar. Mary Had a Little Lamb, But yeah, I was never good at math. Math for me was all about memorizing the problems or whatever. Like the multiplication, I would memorize all the twos, all the threes, all the fours, all the fives, but I wasn't into like figuring out the solutions and the formulas and how they work and stuff. Too much for my brain. Oh, so next on the list is Hell Ripper, another record that fucking made my top 10 black metal. This is a badass record. I mean, it's one guy, traditional sounding, kind of reminds me of Destruction in the 80s, early 80s Destruction. Very traditional black metal, death metal, whatever you want to call it. It's called Warlock's Grim and Withered Hags. Such a cool title, but I love that album cover. Just the name Hell Ripper is what sold me on it. I was like, wow, that band Hell Ripper. I gotta buy that, and I wasn't disappointed. Every song is good. It's kind of record you want to put on to fucking scare your neighbors away and all that shit. All right, we're moving on. What time we got? We've only been this for half an hour so far. As you can see, it's still sealed. This is the mint condition version. I got like 3 versions of this record. This is Ghost. They put out their covers album that they put out every time they put out a new record, and they put out a covers album. This is a good album, man. Didn't make my top 20 just because it's all covers, but they do Iron Maiden's Phantom of the Opera. They do a very good version of that. They do a Genesis song, Jesus He Knows. And He Knows Jesus He Knows Me or something like that. Really good. It's Ghost. I mean, Ghost never disappoints me. I'm looking forward to their new album coming out, hopefully this year, maybe next year, and maybe tour again. Hopefully, I got to see them back in When did I see them? It was 2019 or 2020, or it might have been 2021. I saw them at the Moda Center. It was right before it must have been in 2022 because it was right before the Impera album came out. Because I know I saw them in January. And then they announced a new album coming out in March or April of that month or that year. And so, yeah. This band right here, I just found them just kind of reading album reviews on the Google News. I get music news on my Google or whatever. So sometimes a music review will pop up of a band and they'll look interesting. So then I'll read the review and I'll check them out. This band's called Spotlights, and they're kind of more of alternative, but they also kind of consider themselves kind of doom metal, sludge a little bit. It's a good record, though. It's very dark, and it's got that old style dark imagery that you kind of see in like those weird photographs from the early 20s or whatever, the 1800s, and it's just really cool. As far as their image, they're just kind of regular looking guys. They don't really have any like dark image or nothing like that. But yeah. But check out some of their music. I mean, it's kind of Cure sounding, but kind of hard to describe it. It's definitely dark. Listen to this more. This should have probably been in my top 20. This is one of those regrets. Like, you should have put that in your top 20. Because, but I remember putting it on. I remember like there was a lot of good songs, but then I kind of lost track, as midway through. Because it looks like there's like side A, side B, and side C. So there's definitely then the side D is etched or whatever probably. So there's what is there? 12 songs or 9 songs actually. But I guess there must be some long ones because they're like split up in 3s. So yeah. But yeah, I love the album cover. I love it's called Alchemy for the Dead. So it's, definitely some old Edgar Allan Poe style looking stuff going on, Victorian. But yeah, get out there and check them out. Spotlights. I'm going to delve more into this record. I think this might be a top contender. Night Demon. Bought this based on the name and the cover. I love the green and stuff like that. And then I ended up thinking they were going to be like kind of thrash and more thrashy, but they were actually ended up being more like kind of a commercial sounding rock or metal band. I've had them on my show a few times as far as their music. But I would say check them. I didn't pull up a clip, so I would say just go out and check it out. Check out Night Demon Outsider. You'll like it. It's melodic. It's just your traditional hard, heavy melodic, and there's a concept to this album. And I don't know, I can't remember where they're from. They might be from Finland or somewhere like that. Yeah, good record. It did make my top 10 back in the day, but like, again, records kept coming out and bumping us down, and then it just ended up in a honorable mentions bin. Go get Night Demon, Outsider. Outsider. Get it right, dude. Look at that. That's kind of cool. All right. Okay, so this band right here, Cancer Christ. It's just a 45. I wish I need to get a full album of these guys. They're kind of in the world of Squid Pisser. That was number 20 on my top 20 list. They're all kind of running that same circle. I guess they're all on the same label. And Cancer Christ, I think the singer of this band kind of does. He did a cameo on one of Squid Pisser's videos, and just that total hardcore, crazy. Some of their stuff's controversial. They have like a song about God hates cops or whatever, and then this one's called Satan is a Bitch. Here, check it out. They're just really, and their songs are usually like a minute to 2 minutes long. Oh wait, that's on them. Hold on. Song kick a dog in the face. Satan is a bitch. Yeah, those lyrics are pretty crazy. But yeah, the singer, he's a kind of a heavy guy with a beard, and he dresses like Jesus, all bloody. He has like a bunch of blood all over him, and looks like they put on shows around LA, and people just show up and start freaking moshing and going crazy, and then they film it. And so it's kind of neat. So next, the little clip I actually played. That was from Cattle Decapitation. I bought this late in the game, so I never got a chance to really listen to it. This probably would have made my top 20 list had I delved into a little bit more. I love that album cover. That's what drew me to it. So obviously, and I think I know these guys over the years, and I think we even played a show with them back as in Will-O-Wisp. I think we played a bunch of festivals where death metal bands were on it, and I know we played with Suffocation before at the Whiskey. There's another band that's kind of similar played with, but I'm pretty sure I've seen Cattle Decapitation on the bill. But I'm always drunk or high on those nights, and probably don't remember if I even heard them or watched them play or whatever. But I'm pretty sure we were on the same bill with these guys a few times. Anyway, so let's check out that clip again. Yeah, there's a lot of bands that are doing that little AI in their videos, which is cool. Yeah, the album's called Terrasite, not Parasite, but Terrasite. So yeah, like a weird looking creature, huh? Like something out of Guardians of the Galaxy or something. Oh yeah, I'm gonna listen to this even more. You know, I might even come back like a couple years and say, "Oh, let's do the top 10 albums of 2023 and see where it lands." You know, see, I'll probably end up including like a lot of these that I missed. You know, I do plan on doing a top 10 of 1984 with a couple of friends if I can rile them up, you know, and rustle them up or whatever, and from the 80s, and because 84 was a very special year for me, which I just talked about earlier. Coming up next is Raven. I got this late in the game too. Was I always a fan of Raven? I know that they're legendary. They've been around forever. I used to see them in the hit parade all the time. Just never really owned any of their records. Maybe I think I remember they had that song on MTV Headbangers Ball for a while that was kind of popular. 3-piece band. You know, the drummer had the football helmet on or whatever he had on, and you know the hockey mask and all that shit. I don't think he's in the band anymore. This is two brothers, Gallagher brothers, I guess. I think their last names are Gallagher. I know there's the Oasis has the Gallagher brothers, but I think these guys are Gallagher brothers too. Gallagher's of metal. But I think I got it because like everyone's talking about it, and it was, and I see on a bunch of other people's top lists of 2023. So I thought, well, let me get it, check it out. Kind of like with that other guy's album that I've talked about last night. But anyway, Phil Campbell and the Zombies or Dead Ones or whatever they're called. But anyway, Raven. So I got this based on that, and it's a cool album. I put it on. It's just kind of I need to listen to it a little bit more to see where. Obviously, it didn't make my top 20, but you know, maybe if I like it enough, I'll go back and listen to more of their older stuff. But let me play a little clip for you. I think I saw the video and it just wasn't too and I wasn't blown away, and it's just kind of I don't know if I can't take it serious. It sounds cool until he kicks in with that verse, and it's just kind of like I don't know if I can take that serious. But I did the guitar solo. I mean, he's an amazing guitar player. There's really kick-ass guitar solo in that song, and you know, like I said, but nothing wrong with it. It's just is it something I would go to like, oh, I want to jam some Raven right now, you know, or this album? Yeah, who knows? Anyway, so then I got this band called Enforced. They're kind of a thrash metal band, a really classic. I don't know how long they've been around. I don't know a whole lot about them. This probably would have made my list in top 20, but I just didn't really listen to it a whole lot. But it's definitely worth mentioning. Play a little bit of that. Whoa, a lot of testosterone going on there. I'm just kidding. That sounds cool. I mean, yeah, good album. Just didn't make my top 20, but so we're gonna wrap this up here in a few. Got a few more here. Black Braid just made my top 10 black metal, but it kind of ranked low. Used to rank high, but I don't know. Heard some stuff about the singer, wasn't really too happy about. But then again, rumors are rumors. But at the same time, can't knock the music. Gotta love the artistry over the artist most of the time. Good album though. Just it's very similar to their first record, just a little bit more dynamic as far as melodic pieces going on and different instruments being played. They're Native American. It's mostly just one guy, and they're kind of known as being the first. I wouldn't say the first, but they're known as being native, indigenous black metal. You know. So yeah, not sure what tribe. He's from some tribe in New York that's based out of New York. I can't remember I can't even pronounce it. My stepdaughter's always trying to get me to speak Blackfoot. You know, she's trying to teach me, but I'm barely trying to learn I can barely learn Spanish, like I learn a few words and then it doesn't retain something about my brain. It just, unless it's something I'm really, really into, want to learn it, then I retain it, especially when it comes to music, music theory and things like that, and songwriting and stuff like that. But other things, it's just goes in one ear and out the other. Cloak. This is a damn good record, man. Black metal. Can't say the title. Flame something eternal. Dark Flame Eternal or something like that. What does it say? Black Flame Eternal. Don't you know your records that you buy, dude? Come on, man. What's that album called? I just paid $15 for it. No, Cloak. This is a damn good band, man. These, I think they were pretty high up on my black metal list because these guys made my top 10 black metal list of 2023. Yeah, and I discovered them kind of early on, or like late in the game. Like I think my friend Tony told me to check them out, and I did, and ordered the record right away. Discovered this band at the last minute too during my black metal top 10 black metal bands, or for 2023. It's called Demon King. Really technical black metal, almost thrash in a sense, but for technical, I think they're from Greece or somewhere, definitely from another country. There's an album called Vesnia. So check out Demon King. You can get them on Bandcamp and stuff like that. So yeah. And then this band, Lamp of Murmur, Sanitarian, Bloodstorm. This is a really good this almost kind of like reminds me of Dimmu Borgir a little bit, like kind of early Dimmu Borgir. I don't know if it's just one guy or two people that's put this out, but it's so dark and it's heavy. It's just in your face. Really good. I think it made my top 10 as well. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Looking forward to 2024. Again, we got Mick Mars, Ace Frehley, Judas Priest, Bruce Dickinson, Merciful Fate, hopefully. Will we see a new Merciful Fate record finally? Or King Diamond? King Diamond keeps teasing us. They put out that video from a song that came out in 2019, and they finally put out the video for it, for something Madness, or what is it called? Something to do, because the album's based on like an asylum, like a mental the Institution or whatever. I think what's the name of it. I think that's going to be the name of the album, The Institution. And yeah, and that little girl with the weird helmet and stuff, so real creepy looking. But yeah, so he came out with that video, but still no word on when the new album's coming out. Like I saw last year, he was like writing the lyrics out on these little sticky pads. He's like, "Oh, I'm writing the lyrics for the new album." It's like, okay, that's about as far as you got so far, dude. It's been like, their last album was in 2008, I believe. Like, Give Me Your Soul, I think that was their last King Diamond album, and that was like 2008. So yeah, but in Merciful Fate news, Becky Baldwin, that filled in for bass on a few shows a couple years ago, or maybe even last year's tour, because Joey Vera from Armored Saint was playing bass for Merciful Fate, and so I guess he was just a temporary member anyway, but he's full on with Armored Saint. So I guess they decided to part ways with him and get a full-time member, and they got Becky Baldwin because she filled in for a few shows. And I had a feeling about that when I saw her playing with Merciful Fate. I go, damn, she fits in really well with this band, and I could see them taking her on full-time. She's got a really cool image. She's very talented. I'm not sure what band she came from. So I know she was probably in a couple popular metal bands, but yeah, Becky Baldwin. She's got a Facebook page, and check her out. Of course, she's hot. So, but King Diamond, he's happily married. He's got a very attractive wife, and she's cool and always films the shows. He's got a cool little kid called, I think he's named Prince Diamond. He's like the prince, he's going to be future King Diamond. Yeah, I used to watch those. So on what's that one? What's that one streaming site that everyone used to go to? I can't even think of it now. It's like a purple logo or something like that. Anyway, so King Diamond used to live stream all of his concerts. Like his wife would live stream and film the tour from last year, or maybe it was a year and a half ago or so. And she'd always do the backstage stuff. And if you paid the $5, you get to actually ask questions and be in the chat part. And King Diamond would always be backstage with his kid, and he'd be full on makeup. I remember on Father's Day, it was like King Diamond's hanging out with his kid on Father's Day with the makeup on. And it was really cool, It was really touching. He's a really nice satanic dad, man.
I worship the devil.
I'm just a rock and roll rebel. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining me on this special bonus episode of the Metal Block, episode 5. This was an extension of last night's show that aired today, or that I taped last night but aired today. And yeah, and thank you all for watching that, and your feedback was very valuable, and all that good stuff. And I want to see your lists of 2023. We got to say again, 2024 is looking good so far. I just got Saxon in today, their new album, Hellfire and Damnation. I just heard side 1 so far, and it's really good. All right, so be kind to yourself and be kind to other people, but you got to be kind to yourself first, because if you're not kind to yourself, it's hard to be kind to other people. You know what I mean? You got to live at a kinder pace. Don't beat yourself up. Just be kind. Because if you're not good to yourself, you're no good to anyone else. All right? So horns up and peace out.